Welcome to Life, the podcast that dives into life. It's open to life. We discuss and talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. My name is Adam Farrell, and I'm here with my co-host, Steve Ballard. Hello, welcome to Life Podcast, episode 7. Is it 7? Episode 7 now. We're flying. Absolutely
we are
flying.
indeed.
So Adam, last week, said he fancied getting a fighter on for the next one.
And lo and behold, look at that, we've got one.
Pull a fighter out
We've got one.
the box. So we're joined today, should I say, by Connor the Pitbull. Meanwell, he's still good under the Pitbull.
Yeah, still good.
Pitbull.
So Connor Meanwell, 27 here?
No, 26. Mate.
26, he just told me that, but I forget.
Yeah, he did.
26 from Newark-on-Trent, Nottinghamshire in the UK, and we're going to dive in a little bit and find out what life as a boxer, martial artist, and a dad at a young age is all about.
I appreciate it. Appreciate being here. You know, what I mean, so
Thank you for your time.
So,
Right, let's start off. What age did you get into boxing?
boxing or just
martial arts? Sorry.
Martial arts was 8 years old. 8 years old I was, and it was all down to my dad, pretty much, because not for no particular reason. It wasn't one of those stories where I was getting bullied or anything like that. You know what I mean? It was just something my dad was interested in, and he just thought of taking me and my brother down to the kickboxing gym at Newark Martial Arts, which is now Sudge's Gym. And I was 8 years old, so that would have been like 2004, maybe, I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean?
Your dad used to fight?
He did. He did compete in kickboxing at the time. He competed under Newark Martial Arts as well. Yeah, he's had a few, but on the amateur circuit though.
Do you remember seeing him as a kid?
Yes, yeah, I did.
So it's sort of born into your blood, isn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think my family in general, anyway, you know, you got fighters, like in general.
Yeah.
But like I say, when I started at 8 years old, I went with my brother and we went for a couple of weeks. And my brother showed no interest. And obviously this was just like, I just found the candy shop here, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was just like...
Did you take to it straight away?
Yeah, I took to it straight away. And that's what I did, you know.
But where did you start, kickboxing or boxing?
I started kickboxing first. And obviously I competed in kickboxing as a young kid. I went up, you know, to all the way to about 13, 14, because as soon as I hit my teenager years, I kind of fell off, because I start getting into trouble, you know, wrong crowd and stuff like that, girls.
The teenage years are a hard time.
You know what? What I do notice, and I notice it now, like especially the young lads, when they do hit that teenager years, like 14, 15, sometimes you don't see them into the gym because they're occupied by life, by what you know is thrown at them. And it's hard to keep them disciplined.
You're starting a bit of drinking.
And you know, sometimes they might find something more interesting, you know, because it's not for everyone.
No.
But and that's what happened with me. Like, I didn't find anything more interesting, because at the time I wanted to follow my father's footstep, whatever he did, because I looked up to the man. And he was in the army, so that's what I was looking for. And so between like 14 and like 16, 17, I didn't really do much. I messed about with the odd boxing.
Were you still training though?
Yeah, I was still training,
but not competing.
And not competing. It wasn't like 24/7. If anything, I was training in other aspects, ready for me to, you know, prepared to join for the army at the time.
So that's what
that's where you wanted to go.
Yeah, that was everything. I was just captivated. I was just blinded and amazed by, you know, my father to begin with.
Was he sort of your hero, sort of? As you know, growing up, boxing, military, you followed the scene.
Yes, but I admit it to him.
You have now.
But I tell him, you know.
No, it's good though. I mean, all the social media posts that I've seen, like after fight or getting ready for, your dad's there with you.
Yes, he is. He is there.
Must be so nice.
He has been to every single one of my fights without fail. without fail, and I've had a few. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice. He's seen me there in my greatest moments, my happy and glorious moments, and to my deep down,
Dark moments,
and time losing in the ring and stuff like that. And he's been there. He's been there all along.
That's good.
And
That's
sometimes he thinks if he's not there, I might perform better. But then sometimes if I'm there, I will perform better. So because you can tell, and he's the loudest person.
I was just about to say, is it a quiet supporter just sitting out the way?
No, like I had a home show fight. I forgot the date now. I think it was like the 15th of September in Newark, right? And literally, I had the fight, and a couple of my friends were saying, "It's like, is that your dad?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, this is after the fight. It goes, I thought so, because you just hear him. Loud.
Can you hear him?
I can. Sometimes you can't, because you are a bit tunnel vision. And sometimes I do hear him. Like, I had a boxing bout last week on the amateur circuit, and I heard him straight away. I heard him go, feet, like shouting at the top of his lungs. Go, feet. Find your range. I was like, all right, do you want to be in my corner? Or, you know what I mean?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah. But no, I can hear it, but sometimes I can't. But
it's nice though to know that support's there.
Even my mum will sometimes will not show up just for the fact that my dad's going to be loud.
Embarrassment.
It's just like, oh, here we go again. So it's just shouting there. Everyone looks. I had one in Liverpool, right? I'm telling you now. Hostile crowd. I'm the wayfighter fighting the home fighter, and I'm having these scarces. Right, no offence to Liverpool people, all good people, but.
They're not.
Not
all of them.
This particular night, this was only about 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
This particular night, I'm walking into the ring and I'm having these scarces going, "You muppet," and everything shouting at me, going, "Your tattoos is shit." They said, "Your fat is burning fat." I'm like, what does that even mean? Yeah. And then out of the whole crowd, you hear my dad go, "Come on, Connor." Everyone's just looking at him, where they only where from the East Midlands, Nottingham, but the only Nottingham lot in the building. I was like, wow, go. So I'm fighting that sparking this guy out straight away, and I'm not going to like it. I was like, me and my dad's going to, you know what I mean? But on that one, no, I didn't, but I rematched the guy back on the home show, which went to a split. So, no.
Them Scousers fight, they don't fuck about. There's some really good Scouse fighters.
Well, where we went to compete at, because I had a photo took actually with Callum Smith, who's a former world champion. He lost against Canelo Alvarez on his last fight. That gym is called the Rotunda Gym Amateur Boxing Club, and that's where the famous of Tony Bellew, David Price, Liam Smith, Callum Smith, all the Smith brothers have trained out of. That's where they started off. That's their roots, and obviously I was fortunate enough to be facing one of their lads at their gym. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice when you get to do stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Experience.
Because it's experience. You're fighting a really good lad, and it's great to be a part of that history. What was built there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be installed.
Yeah, totally.
With you.
Totally.
So,
no, that's cool.
Definitely.
So what happened with the military? How old? We were talking 15, 16. You're training, but you're not competing. You've got your sights set on the military.
So
did you apply?
I did.
To what sort of field in the military?
Army Parachute Regiment. Right, okay. My dad was in the Royal Corps Transports at the time, which is now the Royal Logistics Corps.
Yeah.
And he was in 1985 to 1995 or something like that. Because I was born in 95. So
I feel old.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and he done like 2-3 tours in Northern Ireland, the Gulf War in 1990 to 91, when Saddam Hussein invaded Iraq. Kuwait, sorry. And so and he used to tell me the stories and stuff like that, and I was just amazed, and I just thought that's it, that's the life I want. And I was always one of those type of people. I was like, I'm not made for this outside world. I'm not made for this outside world. I'm made for something else. Like, I can't see myself in this one town. Nothing wrong with the town. I just can't see myself in this one town forever. I need to go. I need to be on this experience. To even
spread your wings.
My dad was based in Germany. You know what I mean? And 16 years old and being based in Germany. For like 8 years he was based there, you know what I mean? And going around the world, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, obviously a part of the war, and stuff like that. So that's what I wanted. So, but I'm a little bit more rough ready. So I chose the parachute regiment. Because something about jumping out of airplanes felt sensible to me for some reason.
Sensible.
Yeah.
It's not a word I'd put jumping out of a plane, but
so, obviously, and that's what I did. So I got myself ready and I applied for the paras, and obviously you got to go for your selections and stuff like that. And I did well. The only thing that basically backed me on that was I had a hernia on my groin. Yeah, so what was I, 16, 17 at the time? So a hernia on my groin. And no, I was 16, so I had a hernia on my groin. And then I basically had to go, this was 2012. So they referred me to the hospital, where I didn't have the operation until 2013. So I couldn't do opening. And then I had to recover for 3 months. Then I could do no training after 3 months for a further 9 months.
Oh, well, so you're a year out.
Year out, which I said with every intention that I'm going to reapply, go for it again. It's just obviously I became a father at the age of 16. My girlfriend, at the time, she was the same age, 16. So where I was looking at life going right, I ended up going left, and it just got to me a little bit because it's not what I had planned. You know what I mean? What I saw in life, and I did a couple of these jobs here and there, and I was so unhappy because it's like everything you built up from a child, what you say you're going to do, you go and do it, and then you had a couple of setbacks. And
especially when it's medical setbacks.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing about it.
I know, and that's the most annoying thing. So the only thing I could do was be patient, by my time, and re-go again. But life is funny because, you throw your stuff at you, and I became a father. So
this is the epitome of this podcast.
Yeah.
Of what life throws at you.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
And that's the thing, like, what a lot of people don't understand, like, because I'm 26 now, and even when I became a father at 16, I was still immature. I matured a lot quicker than a lot of lads at my age group, but not fully matured, you know what I mean? It took me to, about 23. So I was like, no, I need, change, settle down, I can't be asked. My group of friends got smaller and smaller and smaller, you know what I mean? I stick by myself, I'm quite private now. But at the time, I was just unhappy, you know what I mean, with everything I was doing. And then, which basically led me on a course back to martial arts. Eventually. I was always doing it, but I had my goals set on at the military.
Was it becoming a dad on top of the groin issue that just military is not for me now? Or was you still prepared to do it with a child?
I was prepared to do it with the child at the time.
The child,
because I've got 3 now.
26, 3 kids. I think that's amazing, mate.
with the same woman, of course.
The amazing Janine.
And she'll appreciate that.
She will, putting up with you, mate.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But no, at the time, the child, obviously born Shady May. I was prepared, and I had I sat down and I spoke to Janine about it. She understood. She knew what I wanted to do, and that's great from her part, willing to let me.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that it takes a certain kind of woman to do that,
and especially with us being young as it is. You know what I mean?
You're living the life of a 30, 35-year-old.
Yeah.
At the age of 16, like you say, you're not mature until you're 23.
No, and this is the problem I had when I didn't get into the military, and this is the problem for the next few years. Like you said, I'm living the life as a 30-year-old, but with a mind of a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, massively.
So it took a while. It took a lot of arguments. Took a lot of falling out, ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know, setbacks, even mentally issues that have gone through the years and stuff like that. That still affects to this day from those previous experiences, and it just boils down to from life not going the way you thought life would. And life is simply what you play it by.
It is. It's what you make it.
It's what you make it.
You play the antidote.
And that's basically what happened. So, like I say, after the operation, when I was fully 100%, I was ready to go for it again. Shaylee was born in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so like I say, I tried to go and apply again, but at this time, money, finance, come the issue.
You need to work. You need money.
I was, we was living at my mum's house because Janine has nothing to do with her parents.
Mm-hmm.
So my mum actually took his
adopted her, so to speak.
Yeah, as to speak. So she became part of the family.
It sounds like you've got a real solid family.
Yeah, like that, and that's what basically happened. So my focus then really became on right. Let's get this finance. Let's get this family stable. Let's get a place. Let's get a thing, and that's what eventually I ended up doing. And then, like I say, in the meantime, I was still doing the odd martial arts and stuff like that in the meantime.
Keeping busy.
Yeah, keeping busy. And then around that time period, I was like, right, I've got to take this serious now, the martial arts, and that's what I did. And that's where I was like, right, I'm going to take it seriously. If I can't go into the military, what I wanted to do, I'm going to do the next best thing.
Is that your backup plan?
Yeah, what was, I have been good at, and I just went with it. Mm-hmm. And I've not regretted it. It's not one of those where, now I've got to do that now.
Yeah.
It's a passion. It is a passion. And I was going to do the same thing, because the army has its own.
No doubt you would have competed in the army.
Exactly. They have their national boxing teams and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's something what I would have done anyway. You know what I mean?
Like, what sort of age were you? 17, 18 at that point?
So after I fully recovered and finally come to the realisation the military is not...
Probably more like 19, surely, by that point.
Yeah,
by that point, about
a
year where you had to wait to 2013 for the operation.
Yeah. Then
there was a year after that where you couldn't do anything.
So about 2014, to be honest, so I'm 19. That's comes the realisation military is not the option. Unfortunately, and I was really gutted by it because you got to understand, like, I really did build myself up from it. My whole family would say, "Yeah, we know what Connor's going to do."
Yeah, that's it.
Like, but it just never went that way, and that's why I focused on martial arts instead. Obviously, I fully, got in touch. Well, now at the time it's Sudge's gym.
Yeah.
And I started doing K1 kickboxing, which is the same as kickboxing, but obviously there's a few more rules.
Elbows and knees.
Knees. And you're allowed to clinch and strike. And if you want to, you could box an entire fight without throwing a kick, if you want to. In kickboxing, you have to throw a minimum of like 6 kicks off, I think, a round or something.
Oh, is it minimum?
Or it's not going to be.
Or is it depends on organisation?
Well, no, because if it's kickboxing, it's not going to be classed as a kickboxing fight if you don't throw a kick. In K1, you can, like in kickboxing, you're not allowed to throw leg kicks.
Yeah.
And you've got to kick above the waist and to the head, and you're not allowed to throw knees, and you're not allowed to clinch.
Yeah.
In K1, I can leg kick you to the body, head, knee you to the legs.
Why is it me that's getting hit? Why not Steve?
It's not a small chubby, No. But yeah, so there's a lot more rules, and like I say, I chose the parachute regiment as a.
You jumped out
option. Not yet.
Do you want to?
Yet.
I do.
Let's set up a GoFundMe for Connor. Jump out of plane.
Yeah, I won't mind it.
Do you know what? My friend's mum and dad, I think I told you.
Yeah, you did.
They're in the 70s, mate. They've just done a skydive. In the 70s. Right, for charity. They loved it that much. I think they're booking a 10.
I do it.
It's like 10 sessions.
See, the thing is, I'd gladly do it for charity.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But I'm also, I'd just do it just off the cuff.
Yeah.
I could. The thing with me, I could wake up one day and I'll look at my bank account. And I'm like, I've got enough money to do a jump today. I was like, just go and Google. Where's the nearest
That's
jump?
good though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know a bloke
do
that jumps like every week. He's fully qualified and whatnot.
Yeah,
he goes all the
parachute.
time. It costs him about 20 odd quid a jump or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he just doesn't. He's got all his own chute and everything. When I used to work at Quadrant in Sheffield, you'd see him in the bloody thing just rolling his chute up. Oh, I'm just off for a skydive after this, as if it were normal.
Well, that's the thing. When I went to Colchester, because obviously I had to go down to Colchester where the parachute regiment based in Merville Barracks, and I was just amazed by all the troopers, like the soldiers there, and like they'd be talking about like the tours they've done in Afghanistan and like the experience through training and jumping out of airplanes and stuff like that. So
yeah.
Oh mate, I was like I said, I was like a little kid in a candy shop, like because it's everything. Like I was saying, I built my whole life to it. And what I thought of it and what I expected turned out to what it was expected to be, yeah. But also, I think the only reason to that is because my dad was in the military. So I had first hand of him telling me stories anyway. So I knew what the life will kind of be anyway.
Yeah.
But, so when it came to, like, the K1, it's fast-paced, high adrenaline.
I love K1. I love K1.
Yeah, and I do. Even though I'm in boxing now, I still love K1.
How long was you K1 for?
For a while.
Yeah.
For a while, I say.
I think when I first met you, you were still doing K1.
Yeah, I was still competing in K1.
Yeah.
When you met me, and I think I had about 3 or 4 fights. Still, when I first met you, and then
I think
left. Well, no, I think when I met you, I did about 4, 5 fights after, and then I transitioned to boxing.
Yeah, I remember talking to you about the transition. We spoke quite a while about that.
Yeah, and
how was your K1 sort of record then?
My K1 record, I'm not too sure. I think it was like K1 side was like 14 fights or something.
Yeah, 14
like
fights.
Yeah, from K1. But I think in the kickboxing days I had about 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
Onto that. But yeah, I'm not too sure onto the K1 side.
Yeah. But you had about 14 fights in K1.
Yeah, about 14, 15. I've had quite a few, you know what I mean? I've had quite a few in the gym wars as well, you know what I mean? But I've had like over 20 boxing bouts now on the amateur circuits before.
What was the main transition for you then?
There was a few reasons. My leg, to begin with, was just getting damaged from leg kicks.
It's brutal.
It is, but I will say K1, just the training aspect is hard.
Do you know Amare trains at Fourth Dimension?
Yes.
I think he has the most devastating leg kicks
I've
ever seen in
I
real
watched him at the Grantham.
Grantham, yeah. Oh, so
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I first saw him.
He damaged a lot of guys' legs that night.
Because that was
It wasn't just one guy, it was like 3 guys.
What do they call it? Oh, Road to Glory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Grand Prix or something.
8-man tournament.
For a tournament to get into glory.
Yeah. In his fight after winner stays
fight,
on.
Yeah. So,
mate, and he was just leg chopping. You heard this. I mean, in an arena, you're like, oh, fuck, that's gonna.
And the thing is, you do that to like one guy, and let's say that guy does manage to beat him, he's got to go through the rest of the night with that.
Yeah.
Damaged leg.
I'll tell you something. I know it's a bold statement, but he reminded me very much of Jose Aldo in his day.
Oh yeah,
with his leg kicks.
Yeah, definitely.
It's unreal. But anyway,
but no,
your leg got damaged.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think over the years, I've had about 20 something kickboxing bouts, if you add them all together, or something stupid like that. And when it comes to K1, you're allowed to do leg kicks, right? And I was a very strong boxer to begin with, anyway. So when you're standing in a K1 stance, they're a bit heavy on the back foot, lifting their front foot to ready
Almost
to check.
tie into it.
Yeah, they're ready to check kicks, to check and to, defend against leg kicks. Because I was more of a strong boxer, I'm heavy on the front foot. So if I am competing with guys and actually having a bout with someone, they'll find out in the first round I'm a better boxer than them.
So they're going to try and keep your
distance for legs.
So the first thing to neutralise someone who's a better boxer is to kick the lead standing leg.
Make them
you
sway.
can't, you can't stand heavy then on your legs, and that takes their boxing out of it. And my legs would just get damaged. And I remember after one fight, I must have been limping so bad. Like, I had crutches for like 2 days, but I was limping for like the next 2 weeks, and it was just hurting me. And that was a part of the reason, because I was just getting hurt with the leg kicks. You know what I mean?
Have you been kicked in the leg for a dead leg?
Once or twice.
Yeah, but just imagine it being kicked.
But not
like
to that,
30
that
times
degree.
in the leg.
Over and with a solid shin.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shin bone, you know what I mean? It's like...
I mean, you're needing crutches without a break or a fracture. That's tendon and nerve deadening shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
It's not nice.
It's awful.
And,
It's awful.
And that's the thing, like...
We'll leave that. We'll leave the legs out.
I was like, do I want to, lose my leg? or take a shin bone to my forehead, because I've took a few.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one fight I had, right, it was like...
Getting down and dirty now, aren't we?
Yeah,
Let's go.
This is how we go.
I remember one fight I had, and it was like this. It was the last round, and it was the last 10 seconds, and I was K1 with this kid, and it was the last 10 seconds. He threw this right roundhouse kick, and it hit me right smack bang on the back of the head, and I just dropped to the floor. I didn't drop, but I dropped into my knees and with my hand there, and I was just like really dazed for a second. I was like, whoa, I didn't see that one, because I saw the kick was coming, but I didn't see it wrap round the back of my head. And this is what I mean. It's like, whoa. And then I got up, ref, count, 8 count, and it's like, good, boom, ding, 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 end of the fight. And I lost that fight for a split decision as well. And I was like,
if you didn't just get that kick
right in the last round as well. But this is what I mean. So, like I say, when I transitioned to boxing, I was naturally better at boxing to begin with. I mean, I could kickbox anyway. I was trained by Dean Sutton.
He's one of the UK's.
Yeah, he's one of the UK's
kickboxers that was in his day.
Yeah, in his day as a professional, and he's
world champion, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he was one of the UK's leading trainers as well.
Yeah.
In the K1 world.
Yeah, he still is in the kickboxing world.
Well, he is. Yeah, he still is. I mean, his sons is all great kids as well, all great guys, are a testament to that. You got Chad Sutton, who's well renowned anyway through kickboxing, K1. He was on
he's MGM, Las Vegas, Dubai.
Dubai. Dubai. And then you got Regis Sutton, who's really good at K1, very technical. And then you got Bailey Sutton, who's still in the K1 world.
He's in glory.
He's in glory. And, he's fought at MSG, Las Vegas, Chicago, Holland, where the birthplace of
kickboxing.
Well, not the birthplace, I say, but where it's adapted and advanced is Holland. Roman Decker style and stuff like that. Yeah. Bailey's fought everywhere. And it's not just the lads. He's even got some lads under his roster that's very, very good K1 kickboxers. But Chad, he transitioned to boxing. And I sent him do it, and I thought I could do the same. And the money is better in boxing.
Yeah, why is that? Because that's always frustrated me about kickboxing and K1.
It's all down to you got to think.
I think it's more popular sport.
I was just about to say, surely it comes down to the fact that boxing is more mainstream.
Right, so I put it down to this. Think how long boxing been going for. The boxing itself. The Queenberry rules alone has been going for over 100 years. Boxing itself, because they used to do these bare knuckle boxing just before boxing in the 1800s.
Yeah, you see the black and white stripes. Or
Yeah, you know, guys like.
Was it French boxing?
No, it's English.
No. Was it?
It's a gentleman's game.
Yeah,
It was
all like that, wasn't it? And
if you really want to go deep and dive into that history, you can actually trace it back to the Olympic days of Athens and Greece from like 600 BC or something like
what
that.
boxing? I know
Greco-Roman, yes, but you can not. It's not boxing what we think of today, but sort of where they
Contact
compete.
sport.
But you can trace it back to that. But we, the English at the time, we set it up what it's become today. The Queenberry rules, which is came out of England, and that's what it's become. But like I say, you got to think of it just like that. Like boxing's been going for over 100 years. From Jack Dempsey and Johnson's and that back in those days. Rocky Marciano in the 40s, 50s.
I can't tell his name without thinking of coming to America. Rocky Marciano.
He beat Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis was about 92 years old. You know what I mean?
But yeah, anyway.
That's a good movie.
That was amazing, mate.
I haven't watched number 2 though, to be fair.
I have.
Yeah,
is it good?
Watch number 1 first.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Oh, you want me to rewatch
You don't have to, mate. I'm not telling you to. But yeah, just to remind yourself of all the characters and the little lines
a lot
in
of
it.
them come
Wesley
back,
Snipes in it now, isn't it? Yeah. We've gone off topic there. But coming to America though. Good in that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rocky Marciano.
But you got to think, like we were just on about with mainstream, it's had such a long time to build itself up, and it has, you know what I mean? And, there's movies, documentaries, culture icons like Muhammad Ali, who captured the world.
I think that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what sort of Bruce Lee did for martial arts in the film industry and becoming mainstream? I think Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, people like that, the greats, absolute greats.
Oh, no, and that's what you got to think. And then Glory K1, it's been going for like, 15 years? Isn't it? I'm not too sure, because I'm not well versed with like that sort of side. But that's just what it's down to. It's the same with UFC. I'm a big fan of UFC, you know what I mean? And they started, 2001? Well, they started in the 90s, but Dana White and
Dana White put
Fertitta brothers, or I think they're called, brought it in 2001 and brought it to life. And it's like that. That's just become like a main.
That's almost become its own martial art. Do you know, like calling the...
Well, it is martial arts, you know what I mean? It's literally...
But it's like, you'll say to someone, oh, what do you do? Oh, train in UFC. It's like, no, you don't, mate. You're training MMA. Do you know, like the vacuum cleaner?
Yeah.
Go and get the Hoover.
Yeah.
You might have a Dyson downstairs. It's the same sort
But
of
it's
branding.
universal,
But that's business.
Branded,
That's business.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
Correct word, branding. It comes down
Yeah.
to the branding side of it. That's
Yeah.
100% it.
And that's the thing, like, UFC's managed to... Because that was looked as barbaric. You know what I mean? In the case.
That's what I like about it.
Well, yeah, and that's
Even
why.
still today,
Well,
a lot of people...
Yeah, a lot of people...
That's horrible. It's beautiful.
It was like banned. It was banned in a few of the American states and stuff like that. And eventually, over time, people overcame and got used to it. And then you had stars like Anderson Silva, Rampage Jackson.
It's great seeing the star.
Chuck Liddell and stuff like that.
Chuck Liddell, mate, he's one Iceman.
You know what I mean? Ken Shamrock and stuff like that. Like
Randy Couture as well.
Randy Couture.
The modern Khabib, the modern sort of icons, McGregor.
Vanderlei Silva.
Yes.
Yeah. Pride Days. Pride Days in Japan.
Pride.
You know what I mean? And you got to think, like, look at the stars now. Like, Conor McGregor's just...
Oh, he's exploded, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I think Conor McGregor, the person, has exploded.
Oh, yeah, he has now.
Opposed to just another fighter.
But he helped it. And you need people like that to help it.
What a character. It reminds me very much of the Prince Nazim in the 90s.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. When it comes to with K1, you need that one person to spark it.
Yeah. The character.
Prince Nazim, like Mike Tyson back in the 90s was a scary dude. You know what I mean? It's like, you watch him and you're like, fireworks going to happen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and that's it. Everyone
You could always see it in his eyes.
I don't think he had it. He didn't have a. It was
yeah,
just-
The guy had no filter.
Yeah, as soon as he went in there, that was it. It was like.
Yeah.
But I don't think he ever came out of that in his pride, in his prime.
I know. That's why he went through like the troubles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
he's a beast of a man.
oh, definitely, mate. And that's what I mean. You just need that one guy to spark the sport.
Interest and
The interest in
ignites the fire, doesn't it?
Yeah, of
It
course it
fuels it.
Of course it
And
does.
so obviously, which goes back to money.
Yeah.
With K1 shows, you got K1 shows on like almost every week, around the country and stuff like that, and guys are competing for a couple £100, if that. So there's not a whole lot of money in it. Even like the world champions are competing, not a great deal of money. And, you know,
a lot of them rely on the personal training side of it and running
Yeah,
their own gym to
running
get
their
to.
gym.
But it's not.
So they're all
It's
like
not-
kind of semi-professional.
No, they're
then.
professional.
no, they're full-on pros. Like,
Oh,
at the
so
game. But the problem is, there's not enough money in it to be just have that as your one job.
That's a shame, that really,
I
isn't
mean,
it? When
they
you
don't
think of
fight often.
the amount of time though that they
They
spend
do.
training and
Massively.
stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not
the
just
difference.
about the getting in the ring and the fighting.
No.
No,
You know, they've
You've got a 12-week
all the-
camp prior to that, haven't you?
You've
And-
got dietary requirements and stuff that they have to get into that shape. You've got all the frigging training before it. There's so much that goes into it. It's,
yeah, but that's the thing. Because they do. It's like if you look at Thailand, Muay Thai, yeah? Now, those guys that compete virtually almost every day.
Yeah.
You know what I
They're
mean?
a different breed, aren't they?
And well, they are, but it's the same thing under that kickboxing world. It's just they have, if they want to make money in it, they've got to compete more. But luckily now, over the past few years, you've got like organisations like Glory that are paying quite good, but it's still not enough if you're comparing it to boxing.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. It's only been the past few years that the UFC's been paying millions to their fighters. You know what I mean. And now that's obviously so you see even K1 fighters like going over to UFC. You know?
Yes.
They already got the stand-up game. They just need to learn the ground. You know?
Yeah, pretty quickly as well.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to get sussed out. Like who's the middleweight champion?
At the minute.
UFC, New Zealand,
Oh,
Israel.
Adia.
I forgot.
I
his
know what you
name.
mean.
Yeah.
Edison.
Alessandro, something
Adesanya,
like,
yeah.
yeah, something like
I
that.
can't pronounce it. Sorry, Israel, if you're watching.
Yeah, I know. Apologise. I spar though, you know, big champion, you know what I mean, big guy. But no, he started with the Glory K1.
Did he come from K1?
Yeah, that's where he
Glory,
started.
sorry.
Off.
Yeah.
That's what he started. Well, he started off as kickboxer, and then obviously now he's obviously world champion in UFC, dominating, and that's where it comes down to. Money is better.
Yeah.
So obviously going into boxing, when I made the transition, my mum, yeah, bless her, she thought, I hope you don't kick him. On my first boxing bout, she goes, I was like, why would you think that? Because you've been doing all this K1 for years. Like, what are you going to do if you just decide to roundhouse kick their opponent? I was like, I'm not going to do that, Mum. You know what I mean? It's like, if I
Have you
do...
had to stop yourself from lifting a leg or a knee or...
No, you know, to be honest, once you've been training in it, and plus, like I say, I was a natural boxer in it, and once you're in there, you know what the rule sets are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In sparring and training, I mess about. I'm like, fake a knee or something like that. Because the lads know what I used to come from, you know what I mean? So it's good when I do that. So when I did transition, I basically hit it like a train.
So when you transitioned, was that your first boxing fight then? Or have you competed at boxing?
So
before?
what I did, because the reason I've done it like this as well, so what I did, I took about 3 white collar fights, boxing fights. And now white collar, no disrespect to any lad that have done...
My mate's doing one in December.
or are doing white collar. And when I mean no disrespect, on the side of if you're looking at competition, right? If you want to become a fighter and you want to be something and get somewhere, white collar is not the place to be, because it's white collar for a reason. You're boxing against guys who are just starting or just decided to take it up one day and they're not thinking about having a career out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So if you're looking, because I know a few guys who've gone from white collar and then straight into the pro game and don't last that long.
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
Right,
just
so-
a bit.
And this is the problem. You're not getting that level of skill, that competition, that high level of boxing, that crisp boxing that you're getting. So this is the reason why I did it. So what I did to test the waters, because I said at the time, I want to do a few MMA belts, because I've already done a few K1 belts and a few kickboxing boxing belts. Sorry, I never got to the MMA ones because I just stuck with boxing. So I had about 3 white collars. I won all of them, and it was expected anyway because I've already got ring experience.
Yeah.
Coming from the K1 world, kickboxing world, you know what I mean. And won all of them, and I thought, right, I won't go pro because I could have. Then. I could have gone pro. At this point, I'm probably about 20. You know what I mean? I could have gone pro. But it wasn't right because I've not had that proper boxing experience, that proper boxing skill, that level of boxing to compete at.
It's all right having Connor, professional boxer, as a name tag.
Yeah,
but you need.
But I don't have
boxer.
I don't have the credentials. I don't have the CV. I don't have the experience. So I thought I'm going to do the next best thing and do what all the greats have done, and that amateur boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think of all the top British boxers like Anthony Joshua, Ricky Hatton, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubanks, Joe Calzaghe. No, they all went through the amateur games because you have to, and that's it. The amateurs, these amateurs, to get that good, they compete for the country. The boxing the nationals, which I have boxing the nationals a few times. The boxer, the Olympics.
Yeah,
Amir
Khan did that.
Amir Khan, all through the amateurs, and for them to succeed, as you all know by in the pro game, was due to the fact of the amateurs. That was their schooling. That was for them to learn. So I said to myself at the time, right, if I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this serious, I'm going to take the proper schooling and go for the amateur ranks.
It sounds like you've got a lot of self-discipline and patience. Like you're saying, you put off the military. Right, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to bide my time. Here, I'm not going to go pro. I'm going to be patient. And it sounds like it's paying off for you.
Not cutting corners either.
Exactly.
No, because the thing is, I think the good thing is when I went into boxing, I kind of understood the world anyway. Mm-hmm. The boxing world, as it was. You know what I mean? I understood the fact that you need to be able to sell tickets. If you want to go pro, you need to be able to sell tickets, unfortunately. You need
that's a big thing, isn't it?
You need to be able to box, foremost, right? But you need to be able to sell tickets.
I'm assuming there's an element of charisma and stuff like that comes into it. It's not just about using these. It's the entire showmanship that comes along with it and everything.
I mean, just talking about like the Sugdens and Suggy's gym. Bailey Sugden, he's got charisma. I love to see Bailey fight. He's just so confident, isn't he?
Yeah, and he makes it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's what brings it. It's like now I can speak to this camera easily.
Yeah,
but a lot of people can do the same, but the people want to see if they've got something about them.
Yeah.
And I don't have something like Bailey, but I have a bit of a more dark...
I'm just saying, his character,
yeah, but,
I enjoy watching him come down to the ring.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to be able to build yourself, and like you say, you need these...
Sell yourself.
Sell yourself.
Literally, you're selling yourself.
Unfortunately, and you know what? I hate it. I hate it, I honestly do, because I know lads, without naming names, I know lads who can't box whatsoever, and they come from like white collars or something like that, but they can sell about 100 tickets.
We can sell tickets.
150 or 200 tickets, right? And promoters of the shows going to make £40 a ticket, right? They can see that, and they're going to feed that guy an easy fight for him to win. Why? Because when he wins, he can come back on the next show to sell another 100 to 200 tickets. Yeah. But the problem is he can only do that for about 8 fights into his professional career. because then he will have to start facing tougher
Names,
to go, and then you're going to get fat out, pretty much. If you've not had the proper schooling in the amateurs anyway, you know what I mean? If you've not had that proper experience and that proper skill to build yourself on. So that's what that boils down to. And I hate that, because I know lads who can box but struggle to sell 20, 30 tickets. And it's so unfortunate, because that means they will have to become the away fighter, where they might not get the decision and they might get a loss. And then, funny enough, they end up becoming journeymen. People who will fight good lads. They're basically taking a dive on purpose. But you need these journeymen. That's the backbone of the sport, to build these superstars up.
Coming lads, they'll fight journeymen, won't they?
So boxing, you know, it looks sweet and nice to the world, but it has its, you know, corrupt and dark side.
It's got its dark side, hasn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
And that's what I hated about it, you know, especially when it comes to the ticket side. I can sell tickets, luckily. You know what I mean? But I can also box. But I'm stubborn, because if I couldn't be, so like I said to my dad, if I couldn't sell tickets and I turned pro, I would have said, I'm not being no one's journeyman.
Yeah.
If I'm fighting someone away, I'm going to ruin that guy's night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to tear him apart and just go.
I think that's an attitude a fighter has to have.
Yeah.
I've got too much pride, right? I can go pro, right, and lose my first 3 fights. And I'll go, no, that's it. It doesn't matter if I've done it the past 20 years. Why should I waste my time on something which I believe I can think? I'll keep training in it, but I'm not going to compete, take it, you know, thing, because I'm in it to win it. I'm not in it to you know, thing. I'm in it to entertain. And I think people forgot that as well. Fighters are more concerned about the records and the money they get from it.
Yeah.
But they forget what the job is. You're an entertainer.
Yeah.
You're a modern day gladiator.
Yeah.
People have forgotten that, and they turned it into this business of Looney Tune, like Jake Paul's and stuff like that, of wildness. And you know what? I respect his hustle, but that pisses me off as well.
Yeah.
Because there is guys that's nailing down and trying to, you know, make it. But like you say, they struggle to sell 30 tickets. But you get a kid off YouTube who's built his fan base fair enough beforehand and able to make millions and stuff like that. But
each to their own, now, isn't it?
yeah, each to their own, and I
Each to their
respect it. But like I say, if when I made that transition on boxing, I got that proper schooling, and that's what I've done for the past 5 years now. And obviously, this year is my last season in the amateur boxing.
As an amateur.
As an amateur. Like I say, I've had a few amateur bouts now. I
Do
won.
you feel confident going into the pro next year?
Oh yeah. I put it this way. I have been ready to go into the pro game for like the past 2 years.
So how do you get into the pro game then? If there's some amateurs out there, or you know, people inspiring to be boxers, how do you just wake up, phone someone up, say I want to be pro tomorrow?
Well, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it that simple?
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, let me just speak. So, COVID messed up a lot of things. So when I say I have been ready to go pro, last year was meant to be my last season in the amateurs, right? So I had a whole year out. You know, 7 months ago I was 84 kg. 84 kg.
What do you fight at?
68, 69 kg. You know what I mean? So
wow,
you know, and I shredded down, trained every day.
But you look good though when you're fight ready.
Oh
no, definitely. You look good.
You know, I don't mess about as that best training session ever, like camp and all this crap.
You just keep your head down.
No, look, listen. All you need to know is I'm training. Look at me train, and I'm ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I say, I was ready to go pro last year. Coronavirus.
Yeah.
Ruined it. And I know a lot of top-seeded amateurs, top-seeded, you know, like Olympic level boxers, you know what I mean? I'm from the GB team and the England team, turned over to pro. Because they don't want to wait about it. They turned over to pro, which I don't blame them. So it is interesting this season because some of the top boys have gone. So it's almost as if that's a free for all at the moment.
Right, okay.
Because normally all the big tournaments like the Box Cup, the Nationals and stuff like that, majority of the time it's these top seeded boxers that's going to win it because they're really good.
Have you got a ranking at the minute, an amateur ranking? Or?
Oh, you don't have like rankings in the
Right,
amateurs. You basically all you're doing is you're trying to get as many fights as you can, win, lose or draw them. The whole point of the amateurs is to gain your experience and win as much stuff as you can.
Yeah.
Build your CV, your experience, ready for you for the pro game if that's what you're going to do. And that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years.
It sounds like you're ready for it.
Yeah.
You're buzzing.
And like I say, meant for it last year. Last year was meant to be my last amateur season. The amateurs, the way it works like football season starts around about September, finish around about March. You know what I mean? So you just want to get as much fights in. Like this year alone, I've had like 6-7 fights.
Really?
The first when it just started, I had 3 fights in 8 days. Like I had one on a Saturday, and then the following week on a Friday, and then like 2 days later on the Sunday. You know what I mean? You just got to keep yourself active, get that experience in, because that's what you're doing it for. That's your schooling. If you lose a fight on a Friday, because you could get a phone call, this is why you got to stay on weight. And they say, there's one on Sunday, Nottingham. Do you want to do it? Yeah. Well, if you lost that bout on Friday, you know where you went wrong. Learn from it.
Yeah.
Do better on the next one. So your resume is not as important in the amateurs.
Right, okay.
It's just about building yourself experience and winning. So to go pro, same thing. You get older someone, you apply for your license through like the British Boxing Board, and obviously you have to pay.
Is there some regulations around the license? Because if I phoned up now and said, "Look, I can have my boxing license,"
right? So if you've not,
will it say how many fights you had or how long?
Yeah,
you've
right.
been
Yeah.
fighting?
So I believe if you've not been in the amateurs, the amateur boxing, England amateur boxing, you'll have to do a fitness test. For me, I won't have to because there's clearly proof that I box.
Watch the videos, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because as an amateur, you have your license, your book, right, and that will have all my fight history. It tells all my medicals because you got to get medical in on every fight, and and basically they see that. But for like, if you two wanted to do it, you'll have to do a fitness test, see if you are fit enough. And then obviously you go for your medicals, your blood tests, your eye test, and all that. And then basically you just wait for your medicals to be done, which is always dreadful for everyone. Doesn't matter how fit you are, because at the end of the day, life is funny and you don't know what could happen. You know what I mean? Like, you could be walking about with a brain tumour for the past year, you're not even realise it, unfortunately, and that's how it's happened. I know lads that has happened to them when they went for the pro licence. You know what I mean? And once you got your pro licence, you there you go, off on your new journey and do what you can, take it by storm. So that's
when will you start looking for a pro fighter?
I don't know yet. I don't want to give any dates out. Obviously, me and Isham.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say where you're fighting out of now. What's your or where you're going to be pro at?
So I was amateur boxing at Newark ABC, but now I box at Epic Golden Gloves.
Golden Gloves, that's it.
Right, under Isham Pickering.
Yeah. Again, he's a national boxing name.
Well, Isham Pickering, a former European, British champion, challenged for the world title, renowned in the British boxing world, and all round great man. Yeah. All great man. The chemistry I have with that guy is unbelievable. And the stuff I'll never forget. And even if let's say I decide to stop boxing today, I always have something, for him in my life.
You'll always have a relationship.
Yeah. and I think that's important when it comes to boxing, like especially if you're going in a pro game, because I think you need that chemistry, that connection with that one guy. If you're taking that pro game, because he's taking it with you.
So will he corner all your fights? And
he's training, he'll help me out, and he'll get me there. But like I say, at the moment, I want to get this last season out of the way for the amateurs, My next bout now is the 12th of December.
12th of December, so this should be live by then, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be about that time.
It'll be about that time. So that'd be cool. Where's that at?
Burnley, I think.
Burnley. And what competition's that?
It's just a normal
Just a
bout.
normal
Yeah,
fight.
so it's just a normal bout. Obviously, win that one, and then move on to the next one. I would like one a bit sooner, but because I've been boxing non-stop lately, we decided to keep the training, the intensity of training as same as always, but just have that month.
So when do you think your last fight? Are you going to be fighting in 2022 as an amateur?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
okay.
until because it ends around March, I think, or something like that.
In March, April.
So what are you doing?
Yeah.
One fight a month,
No.
just to keep your eye in. Yeah?
No. I want as much fights as I can. If I can have 4 fights a month, I will do. In the
Really?
amateurs. Yeah, because the whole point of the amateurs is to get as much in as you can.
I think pro fights will come in a bit slower.
Oh no!
won't they?
So if it goes pro, no, I'm not having like 4 fights in a month.
No.
Because you might as well become a journeyman,
Yeah.
Because you got a good chance. No.
So
how many fights roughly then are you thinking about when you do pro? Like, let's just say a month or in a year, because I know a lot of them.
If I went as a
three
pro,
or 4, yeah.
If I went as a pro, so if I went as a pro next year and we was looking at around September, I will want at least to get 3 fights out by the year's out as a pro. But
So you'd be looking at about 1 a month.
yeah, something like that, and then that will gradually, maybe then the next year, like in 2023, probably about 5 or 6, 7 if I could, depending on how it goes. And then as it goes, that will drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know a lot of your bigger fighters and stuff, they might only fight once, twice a year.
Yeah. So that would drop to about 4, 3 a year, instead of me doing that 3 in 3 months. You know what I mean?
Because say 3 a month or 4 a month, that's got to take its toll on your body.
Exactly.
Even, what I mean? It's,
But that's what I'm aiming for, and that's why, as an amateur, I want, before the season ends, I want 20 more belts. Before the season ends.
You're hungry for it, aren't you?
I am hungry, and a lot of people have said that to me lately, because you can tell, I've been putting in our group chats, and I was like, we've got anyone, I want all the smoke. I want it, you know what I mean? Like, my name is Pitbull. When I'm in there, my boxing style is I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive counter.
What have you got a fight in your mind where you've shown your aggression, and have you got a good fight we can have a look at, or does any stick in your mind?
Good fight. I have
Show
on
the
my on my Instagram. Yes, I've got it on my Instagram.
what's your Instagram?
The Connor dot. It's O-N. So it's CONNOR dot the Pitbull. All in one.
Do you have a different
the
character?
Pitbull.
The Pit. Oh,
Yeah,
that
there it
one.
is. Yeah.
We found it.
Because I've got it on private at the moment. If you want to follow me, I can accept it now.
Yeah.
I can show you now. Sorry,
That's
Steve,
fine.
what was you saying? Different character.
Do you know when you step into the ring, do you feel yourself switch?
Yeah. I've been told off loads of times. Because, sorry, Isha. Because I have a tendency. So I got told off from the ref on my last fight, right? So, because I have a tendency. Because I can really box. You can see the potential there. And I have a tendency to draw it into a dogfight. And,
Is that where your comfort zone?
yeah, it is. And if the guy makes it a dogfight, he's like, "No, mate, you're doing." So I start off quite slow, in the beginning.
Feeling there, and
Yeah, well, I'm just quite a slow starter, and then I get better as the rounds go on and go on and go on. Because I end up breaking them down, wearing them down, because I'm just there. I'm a pressure fighter. I'm aggressive. Like try to make every shot. I'm not a high volume puncher. I try to make every shot count. I react, so I counter, and when I counter, I'll put the pressure on, and I'll keep doing that eventually until you fade.
Just grinding down.
And like when I went to that Liverpool fight, I was on about where I was getting insulted. That fight was like a phone box.
Was it?
Yeah, that fight was like a phone box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have a tendency to do that. But I perform and do a lot better if I just keep it just as boxing. This is why you should sometimes get mad. If you scroll down, keep going. Wait, up went that one. There should be two. So there's another pose on there. There's a video where I stopped a guy in the second round. Yeah, so in the corner, have you got volume on this?
No, I'm gonna get it muted.
Look, catch him in the corner. So I gave him a standard 8 round in the first round. This is the second round.
Right.
And like I don't know if we play it, but like I say, I'm on him already. You know, if I give him another standard 8 count, it's over with. So watching, just marching. This I don't know how long ago. This was about 3 years ago. But by this point, you know, this guy has been hit with big shots, and the ref just waves it off. You hear the dog noises in a minute. But like I say, I'm over. And, you know,
it's constant.
And you see that big shot in the corner, boom.
Yeah, that one.
That wobbled him, didn't it?
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Talk about dogfights. Did you see Justin Gaethje? Wow. I think
mate, I like Michael. What's his name? Chandler, isn't it? Yeah, I do like him.
I like them both, mate.
Mate,
what a
the leg kicks.
Yeah, that was horrific.
I reckon if he didn't get leg kicked that much, I reckon he would have given it a little bit tougher. But Justin Gaethje, did you watch his fight with Tony?
I'm shit with names.
What's his? I forgot his name.
There's probably people screaming it at the
But
camera when they're watching.
Ferguson. Tony Ferguson. He demolished him. He hurt.
Yeah.
Dismantled him.
Yeah, and he's no joke.
And that's that sort of story it brings that Justin Gaethje.
Please, if you like dogfights, mate,
watch that. Watch that.
I cannot think of a UFC fight
with Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald. That's a dogfight.
As good as that?
Probably better.
These two guys, mate, I know you hear a lot of experts don't leave anything in the ring, do you know what I mean? But these two guys unleashed. It was like Rocky Balboa, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Literally stood, mate, bang! Bang!
Yes.
Bang! But it was a bloodbath. It was fantastic.
For a good dogfight, for boxing fans, like who watch boxing.
Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah, but real is between Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti. They had 3 wars, and I think one of their fights was named Fight of the Century, and that was between like 2003 to 2006.
Wow,
3 wars. Like in the first fight, there was non-stop hitting each other. They both went down. Round 9 was classed the round of the decade or something like that, or round of the century, because there was non-stop. It was pow, 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 hitting him, and then here come back doing these flurries of punches, and it was non-stop.
That's exciting for fans, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I do like that. But the sad thing is, you can't box like that all the time. Everyone's got a clock. And
but then when both fighters are knackered, that's where it normally comes out, isn't it?
It does.
They just give everything.
It does. And I do that all the time.
Have you got a rival? Have you got an amateur rival? You fought a couple of times, or
yeah, well, I used to, but he don't compete in boxing no more. I won't mention his name.
Do you enjoy rivals? Do you enjoy a bit of rivalry?
I will. If I could stir something up, I will.
Who would you like to fight?
Yeah.
Who would you, if you could? Who would you like? Don't matter who.
It doesn't matter who.
No, If you could pick anybody now, obviously we'll give you a camp, mate. We'll give you 12 weeks to prepare. But if you could go up a weight, go down a weight.
If I could ever fight someone, and I'll probably get beat by him.
It doesn't matter.
But if I could just share the ring, would be Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
Hagler. Marvelous Hagler, like Thomas Hearns, what he had with him. Remember that fight?
No.
No, well, that was like a war as well between Hagler and Thomas Hearns as well. Getting the names mixed up myself. But Hagler, yeah.
I
love the boxer. He just passed away this year, I think, sadly. But he was big in the 80s. Like between Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas Hearns and stuff like that. Roberto Duran and that. They was called the Fabulous Four because, like nowadays, you try to get the top 2 guys to fight each other. It's a nightmare. But they was like the top 4 people ever, and they fought each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they made the 80s exciting.
What do you think to the Wilder?
I knew it was going to go like that. I called it. You know what I mean? I'm a big Tyson Fury fan.
I love Tyson Fury.
Big
in and out of it, mate.
And
ever since he went on Joe Rogan podcast, I sort of fell in love with him when he just opened up.
And I can relate to him as well, like what he's come from and stuff like that, and the struggles, his life struggles and stuff. So it makes me look up to him even more. Like even a man who come out of shape,
but he can box as well.
And I knew exactly those fights would come out of that, like that, like their first fight. He won that anyway. So don't know why the press says a draw.
Yeah.
But second fight just dismantled him.
He did. He technically dismantled him. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I have seen. Yeah, I've seen him. Not
third fight
recent,
was a bit of a dogfight between them both, but he was still the. You can still see he was winning the fight still, and then obviously, like I said, he knocked him out.
I just love the whole.
And then I knew it would be like that as well.
He's just got that.
The thing is, Deontay Wilder, I like Deontay. Good guy in that. Like, what he's done, because he does it because his child is ill, and he was only in the amateurs for like 3 years. And not even that, I don't think. Yeah, 2 years. Started late, 18.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, but and he ended up going to the Olympics, got bronze.
Yeah.
Which is why he's called the Bronze Bomber. And he does it for his daughter. But he's only got one thing, and that's the right hand.
The bomb, yeah.
And that is not the only thing that wins fights. Look at his resume. He's not really fought anyone apart from Tyson and whoever that old dude was. I forgot his name now.
But still, mate, to survive.
No.
12 rounds with Tyson Fury, you something.
Yeah, but he's you got to understand, like, I'm going to be biased because I'm a Tyson Fury fan anyway, and I knew Tyson was going to win. But this guy made it seem like he was on top of the world, and they made everyone seem like he was as well. He's not. He's not fought anyone now. Compared to his resume, like Tyson Fury, he's boxed Derek Chisora, Klitschko, obviously Deontay Wilder.
Wilder had a lot more to lose.
Oh yeah,
than Tyson.
Tyson don't care. You know what I mean?
No. And I love the whole Gypsy King persona around him. Obviously, it's quite nice because we've got a big
traveller community.
In Newark. It's quite near Doncaster.
Very good guys who trains with me down at the gym that are travellers.
And I think travellers get a lot of bad rep.
They do, and it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
They're unnecessary bad reps.
Yeah, it is unnecessary because it shouldn't be at the end of the day. And I just think over time things will get better.
But I like somebody called the Gypsy King who's out there.
Do you
know what? He's selling a name for travellers. We're not all what you think we are. We have got skills, we have got talent, and I think it's really good.
It's very good. It's very good.
It's like with Tyson Fury though, the way I relate to him because the way he captured the world like through his genuine, true self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like how he's got people around him, surround him, and stuff like that. And at one point he was going to leave all of them, take it all away by, ending it all there and then. And that's why with Isham. I hope to go through like the same path because Isham, you know what many people won't know. About a month ago, I was just having a bad time, right? And I phoned up Isham. Well, I told him. My dad told me because I've been with Isham now for like over a year, and my dad told me I should have told him a long time ago, but I just didn't because I'm a bit stubborn now. And I was having a bad time, and I left work, and I told him that. About certain problems or what I've been suffering with or have suffered with. And this man, in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week, literally showed up at my door within the next 10 minutes. This man showed up, forgot about everything else, showed up, and he took me out to go and get some tea and some food. We just spoke for the next 2-3 hours. He's my coach. He should be
That's a coach, isn't it?
He took time out of his life to come and talk to me, to help me with whatever problems and stuff I've got. That there is what I call, because all I need around me is honesty, loyalty, people around me. Like I say, as I get older now, groups getting shorter, my goals are getting now, tunnel vision more, what I mean, less distractions, and I just need guidance and help along the way, and by those sort of people. So him alone, him doing that, he's got a friend in me for life. And if I was going to take any, professional career, he's the one I want to take with. And if he can do that, I know I'm in good hands. And it's just the same, anyone like Clonus Steele, he's a travelling man. I literally grew up in the same street as him, Devon Road, off the Ortonville Council estate. You know what I mean? Literally a couple of doors now. He's a great man, knows his tricks, knows, got great advice, always there in the corner. Big Sim, Darren Williams, and even the lads down there like Sonny Steele, Danny Steele, Dan Cantor, Little Sam Smith, Jacob, Leonard, and all them lot. That environment to be around helps. And that's with Tyson Fury. He always says to everyone, stay in the gym, stay active, stay fit. And that really does help me. And if I got that sort of person who's took time out to come and help me, to show up at my door 10 minutes after I told him like the truth and stuff like that, the problems I have, to come and help me. And then I'm in a good place. You know what I mean? And those lads who I just mentioned, and like everyone else down there, they're the sort of people I want around me all the time, because they're all great friends, and you know what? They all inspire me to keep going down the gym. They all make it fun.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it?
It's got to be fun.
And it will be your work. It will be your job.
Yeah, and that's it.
So
people forget that, because it is a job. And my job is to entertain you by showing you a good fight.
Yeah.
And that's considering the other guy brings it.
So obviously you're going to turn pro next year. It sounds like you've got an absolute emotional team around you.
I have 100%.
A physical team around you. You're locked in. You're a pit bull. Your eyes are locked, mate. What's the next sort of milestone in your professional career then? Once you switch over, because obviously milestone is turning pro. Yeah. Then where we're going?
Right. So
my destination is on the left.
We're here.
We're already here.
What are you doing? Wrong. Sorry about that.
It's alright.
I was just obviously to get here. Hold on. One sec. Just make sure that's... We're here, guys. So my milestone is domestic, right? So I'll be 27 next year. So not too old, but not young as I would have liked.
You're on the edge, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on that edge. So if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now.
Yes.
And that's why I have this kind of attitude towards it, like, bring the fights on and let's just get it cracking. You know what I mean? And, like, no messing about. I'm not here to be, like, paddy with these opponents or stuff like that, or do these circus acts or whatever. Like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And excuse my language, I'm going to fucking tell you. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do to you as well by ripping my face off. Yeah. At the end of the day. You know
I
what
can't
I'm
wait to
saying?
see some of these.
Don't piss Connor off.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like I don't have time to mess about.
No.
So domestic, I'm looking, British to get the British champion.
British champion.
Yeah.
British champion.
And what sort of weight? What division are you going?
Wow. So I am looking at that because I think I can compete at 63 kg, which is like 63, 64 kg.
Wow.
But don't forget, on the amateurs, it's a day on weighing. You compete on the day you weigh.
Yeah.
Right. So me boxing at 69, 68 kg, not too bad. You know what I mean? Because I walk about like 70 kg right now. Anyway, I'm 5'8" and I walk about 70 kg. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I went pro, you get a day before weighing.
Yeah.
So if I come in at 64, I'm going to probably be about almost 70 the next day anyway.
Yeah.
After rehydrating.
That's something that fascinates me. Still to this day, how 5 kilo can go on overnight.
Yeah, what the hell?
5 kilo.
I was literally just about to say that because you went.
That's like
if you're
3/4
weighing in
stone.
at 64, next day you'd be nearly 70.
Yeah. Yeah, and there
What the
is
freaking
ways.
hell are you eating?
Well,
It's what they're losing.
It's majority of it is water. So if I was going through training, I keep the same food what I've been eating. I don't deprive myself of food. The food what I've been eating would have helped me to lose that weight, and the training aspect helped me to lose that weight. It's the water that makes you lose that weight of that 5 kilo, and you lose it. So what you do, you drink like a gallon of water or something for like the next 12 weeks. You have no salt or nothing like that holds that water in your body.
Yeah, like creatine and
Oh yeah, well,
because that's a water retaining supplement. Isn't it?
yeah. You just want to, like nothing. You just don't want nothing that will like hold your water in you. Because what you want is to keep yourself hydrated throughout the whole training camp, like a gallon of water or whatever, throughout that whole day for the next 12 weeks, every day. Right?
That's a lot of fucking water.
But it is, and there's a lot of time going to the toilet.
I was going to say, I bet you piss like a fucking
I
racehorse.
do, honestly. And once you've done that, during the week of the fight, all you're doing is you're losing that water, and it's so easy to lose because you're not, like I say, you're not at your nutrition. You're not doing stuff that holds that water or stuff like that. Once you lost that water and you made that weight, which you will look like a skeleton, you know what I mean?
Death face, innit?
Yeah, death phase. It'll come back onto you like that. Reason being, because your body's been so used to drinking a gallon of water every day for the past 12 weeks, you're not going to feel bad or full or anything the next day. So that's how.
It's more about what you lose into it and how you lose
Yeah,
it.
but to be fair, you want to be doing it right anyway. If you let's say you are competing at 64, you want to be at 64 all the time. But unfortunately, some of those people are not that big.
It'd be nice to have that weight advantage there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I'll be honest, I'm not the most tallest of guys. Like, I'm not short, but I'm not
You're about
tall.
the same height as me, 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8", and it's even now in my weight class in the amateurs, I'm shorter than the guys there at 69. You know what I mean? And they're always about an inch or two bigger than me. I think I've only ever fought like 2 guys that's been smaller than me. You know what I mean? But,
And we're always told that it's better for your body weight putting it behind your punch if you're punching ever so slightly upwards and punching down.
Yeah, because you're driving it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
you've got that advantage.
Yeah. But that's why I like to think if I can get to 64, I'd be big. Because genetically, I'm basically crapped on myself. Well, my dad has, really. Because it's like I've got broad shoulders for the weight class I'm at, and a bit wider back.
You're Pitbull.
You know what I mean?
Pitbull, mate.
But that's the problem. So when I am cutting, it's like it's hard. You know what I mean? But in the amateurs, you don't want to be cutting weight. You just want to get to that weight what you're competing at and stay at that weight for that season. Because you're boxing a lot.
Yeah.
So you don't want to
Totally
be
different game, isn't it?
there have been a couple of deaths because of that. You know what I mean? And that's not what you want.
No.
And that's how people do die anyway, because you deprive yourself of that water, and you got less water in You know, your cerebral, you like your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary.
Isn't it?
Look,
It really
Chris Eubank. No, is it Chris Eubank? Yeah, with Michael Watson. He hit him with an uppercut, and he basically cabbage. If I have to put it away, you know what I mean. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean that.
It's dangerous. It is dangerous.
I think it is arguably the most dangerous combat sport. I watched. Did you watch that documentary, Fight Science? It was called, and they had. I think they had Chuck Liddell there.
Was that when they was testing the gloves between different gloves?
Well, testing the punch power of boxers, MMA fighters,
yeah.
and the kick power of Muay Thai fighters, karate, taekwondo, etc., etc. And people think big 16-ounce gloves, soft, but no. But the impact...
So think of the weight that's coming behind it and the bloody speed that's hitting you. That's not...
But you put that next to an MMA glove that's 4 ounce, what do you think is going to hurt more or give you the biggest impact? A thin padding on a 4 ounce glove or a big soft 16 ounce?
The best way to segment.
No, you'd instantly think that it'd be the one with less padding.
Correct.
But not necessarily, because it all comes down to the science of...
It's the power distribution.
That's it. Because that's a bigger area.
If I hit Connor there with a mitt, that's only going to impact there.
Yeah.
But with a boxing glove, it's whole side of his head is getting impacted.
Yeah, it's the weight distribution.
It's a lot more traumatic for the brain, apparently, to be hit by a boxing glove. For your confidence, mate.
Yeah, I was just thinking then, like I said, from a scientific kind of point of view, that does make a lot of sense when you actually break it down like that.
I think, you know, pro, if I'm going to, like I say, go through it all goes well, I probably want a good 6-7 years in it. Because the way my fighting style, anyway, the way it is, tends not to last that very long.
Yeah.
The thing, like Ricky Hatton, right? You've seen that guy fight like a bull in a china shop.
Fantastic.
You know what I mean? But
so why is it that it doesn't last that long?
Because you're taking punishment more.
I think everyone's got an expiry date on that one.
Oh, everyone now's got an expiry date.
If I was more of a defensive fighter, I could say, I'm going to box for maybe 10-15 years. Because I'm more defensive and taking less hits and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, something... I get excited by taking one and giving them 3 back. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
But you're saying you're a counter fighter.
And I do get told off. I do. I will pick up on that. But like I say, when I do, turn pro, I want to hit it hard.
Here's an idea. Get this amateur season out of the way. Ours. Podcast studio will be done.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get Isham and Connor back.
Yeah.
Back end of next year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How's your professional season gone? Yeah. It'd be nice to meet Isham and sit down with him and his chatting, bringing amateurs up and his experience as a pro fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And once we've got a studio where we can sit more guest comfortably.
Sit a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. that'll be nice. Are you up for that?
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be cool.
Yeah,
I look forward to that.
That would be good.
Definitely.
That'll be really good.
But that's the thing though. You always want to see progress.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you do have a few people who just don't like to see other people happy and progressing.
I know. I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't get it, mate.
I was saying to you, like, before it started, you mentioned this because obviously we know each other through work, and you mentioned about a podcast. You always said you want to do a podcast or something, and this was like what
7 years ago, mate. Do you know what? I said to Adam Dinter before we started live podcast. I checked it was called Awake TV. Because it was all going to be about the supernatural and the UFO and the conspiracy side of things, wasn't it?
See, the thing, I can have a conversation like that. Sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I get bored about it. I do boxing every day, you know what I mean? So I
think Connor should come back, mate, because I think you've got a very, very interesting mind.
Yeah.
Before you come back though, I'd like to go to a few fights and get a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean, to see what you are like, because you said what you like within a ring, and you said it's different when you can experience it.
No, I want to get Conor back as not a boxer.
Right, just
big. Yeah, seriously, mate.
I have got another clip to show you, and it's on a story on my Instagram.
Yeah. Is it further on?
So go up. The highlights. Up.
Right at the top.
Right to the top. So go click on the home show on the story. Look
where
you got the 3 circles.
Yeah, this one.
Up.
This one.
Yeah. Just click that. It will just play through the story. Can you click on the next one?
Which side? This side?
No. Oh, so it's playing it. Maybe click on the video itself. It might skip the video. Oh no, maybe click on. Right, you got Sam. So this was against that Liverpool lad. So look, here's me getting in his face. So I get,
Like your dad?
No, that's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother.
Yeah, because they know what I'm like. You know what I mean? Anyway, on this one, look, last round.
That was an uppercut.
So that were nice.
Look, I flick up my hand and nod my head to him. The whole crowd going wild.
Does that fuel you?
Yeah, look. Listen. Everyone, look, I'm shouting to him. I was like, come on, let's go. And then I think this was the last 10 seconds. Watch. I was just like, fuck it, let's just go for it. And I was just like,
nice.
Look, I'm screaming. I'm just like, and that's what I'm just about.
Look at buzz you've got there.
Yeah. Obviously, quick respect to the corner. And then obviously to the opponent.
That's it. Once it finishes, it finishes.
Yeah,
all your alter ego.
I know I got into his face in the second round, but so you get more of a perception off the crowd. The whole crowd's going mad. Obviously, this is just on my family's table.
Oh, it's great. It's such a
you know what? That brings me joy. Because my family gets to see me and to know they'll be happy and, show me support like that.
It's great.
It's nice.
It's fantastic.
Nice.
But I want to get Conor back just to speak about
Oh, yeah, definitely.
the paranormal, the conspiracies, history.
I've got a few theories. I really do.
I know. Well, we're not going to run into them now. We'll keep that for another
episode. Watch out for that one.
But yeah, if you want to make it this year, mate, or early next year for that, you let us know.
Yeah,
work around your diary.
Guys. Whenever.
Work around
Obviously,
your diary.
I've got a few weekends, because I will be 9 out of 10 at a boxing show, because I'm at one tomorrow, or competing at a show.
Yeah.
Get myself into a fight with someone.
Yeah.
I tell you, I went. My last bout I had was I think it was Sunday. Hence why the black eye.
Is it finals, wasn't it?
Yeah, finals. And I was there, right? And I was getting weighed. And I walked in and all the boxers are there. So this is my type of character. I was like, why is everyone like quiet? Because all the boxers just stay there quiet looking at each other. And I walked in. As a joke, obviously I didn't mean it like, I was like, we've got to liven this place up. And I was like, everyone here is a bunch of pussies. And I just looked at them. And I said it as a joke and smiled. It was all like, I just lightened the tension a bit. And I was like, yeah. You get this? And then, because I had a full beard, and obviously I shaved obviously for that day. And I know a few of the officials was like, you had a shave and that. And I was like, yeah. Got myself ready for a date tonight in the ring. You know what I mean?
In front of all the other boxers.
Find this guy, wherever he's at. You know what I mean? And the best thing about it, I didn't even know what the guy looked like. Because that's the thing, you're competing so much, you don't even know the guy's name or what he looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I take enjoyment out of it. If I could get that excited and get it riled up, but it's like Isham is a very technical boxer, and he just wants me to be that nice, crisp boxing, which I can do. I just, like I say, I have a tendency to make it a bit of a show, a bit of a fight.
But who are you going to watch? Because let's be honest, Floyd Mayweather,
if I'm watching a fight, I want to see two blokes
Exactly.
fucking go
Yeah.
Or at least one of them who's got that bravado,
Yeah.
who's got, the Conor McGregor getting in your face.
Exactly.
And, do you know what I mean? And,
do odd little freaking cheeky bit of, you know what I mean? With other person kind
Taking
of
the
thing.
piss.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Showboating. That's what I'm looking for.
And it's not me trying it or trying to put too much on or something like that. That's actually me being me, because I can be a bit of an arse.
I can vouch for that.
Because I can be. But obviously,
comes with territory as a boxer.
It comes with the territory. Like I said, I hope that do straight after. I'm not an arsehole. Like, I mean, respect.
Even in the past when we've had disagreements, we've always got on.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you know what I
okay
mean?
to disagree, and it's okay to have your moments and stuff like that. But it's like way I see it, when it comes to like your boxing, your fighting and stuff like that, all your pre-match and everything, your match itself, as soon as that final bell goes, that's it.
You got to think, like,
because at the end of the day,
it's your job.
Yeah.
People
You're there
it's
to
like,
entertain.
you know what annoys me? It's like people go, "Oh, he's putting that on." Oh, they don't really hate each other. What are you on about? They're about to fight each other.
Yeah.
Like,
until the fight's over with, you
Well,
want to
then-
knock that person's head
I
off.
can be friends. Sometimes they don't want to be friends.
Yeah. And that's all right.
Like this last guy, I actually thought I didn't want to be his friend. I actually didn't, and he was. You know what? It was the most politest dude ever. But I was pissed off because I lost on a split, and I shouldn't have lost. But it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to rematch him, and this time take his belt because he's got his Midlands belt. So I will be a little bit more nasty on the next one.
That's an amateur level sort of thing.
Yeah, at the amateur level. So before I finish and go pro,
You want the East Midlands belt.
and especially when he's got it as well, just add salt.
Well, lovely way to round this up, I think,
Yeah.
to finish that podcast off.
I appreciate it, honestly. It's been a good
It's
talk.
been fantastic. I think we've got Adam put a post on earlier.
Yeah,
mate.
we've only got a couple of questions.
A couple of questions to ask you.
So we've got the first question, which was, which boxer inspired you the most?
Oh. Which boxer? I don't have one. I have a few. I have Ricky Allen, because I just love the way he boxed.
As a fighter.
As a fighter.
Yeah.
He had that mentality. He's like, let's bring it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Lomachenko. I like Lomachenko because I just love his technique. I love his style. Inspired me the most, I say Hagler, really, because Hagler suffered the same thing when I was on about the tickets and stuff. It wasn't as popular, and he was just getting, put behind, like, back and back. He carried on fought against the odds, and ended up becoming this big name that he was in the boxing world, and becoming a champion and stuff like that. So probably Hagler, yeah. Hagler, I'm definitely a big fan of Hagler.
Nice.
He inspired me.
I'm sure you'll be someone's inspiration someday, mate, as well.
For the good things.
Doesn't matter. And the second one?
Next question. If you've lost any fights, how did you get back on the saddle?
I suppose as an amateur.
Well, no, because it applies to everything, right? As amateurs, right, it is, like I say, it's my schooling, right? Sometimes you feel like you've got to lose just so you understand where you've gone wrong. But the thing is, when you lose, because I don't want to lose, but when you lose, you got to think, right, why did I lose?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There was one fight I lost, because when I first started as an amateur, I steamed through like the first 5 guys, like that, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then when I first come up against a real boxer, a real good kid, he had like 20 more bouts than me. He just beat me with a simple jab cross, and he had good movement, and he just caught me off balance on a few shots. So it's a case of being a bit technical. I'm like, okay, then find out what the key is, and just don't give up. Like, you got to understand, like, this is something I've been doing for ages now, and I'm not going to give up just like that. I know I said, like, in the pro game, if I did 3 and I just lost 3 in a trial, then it's not for me, I'll just stop. I just meant I stop competing. I won't stop
Boxing, yeah.
boxing in general. I don't have to stop the thing. No point making it worse, And then it needs to be. But yeah, to get back on the saddle, I think with my mentality anyway, because I'd rather have another. I could lose a fight with someone 20 times, and I still want to go again on the 23rd.
The loss doesn't bother you. It's just like learn, move on.
The thing is, I just want to hurt you, and you can win that fight, and as long as I hurt you, I'll be happy with that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like one of those, like, okay, you won, but
revenge. Then that's what gets you back on the saddle.
You won, but you remember that left hook I gave you in that second round, or get a revenge. That's like I lost my last fight on the amateurs. Now I want revenge.
You want his belt?
It's annoyed me because I've been training as hard as I can. You know what I mean, for that. And I thought, you know what makes it even better? He's got a belt, so let me take that.
Nice. No, please let us know, mate, if you're going for that one.
Yeah.
We'll definitely.
What we'll do is, once I've edited this and we've posted it out, just find him on social media and tag him in it. And I'll just make a little little snippet of this little section. I want your belt.
Sorry, mate, but it's going to happen, isn't it?
Nice.
But no, like I say, those sorts of excites me. Then I just feel that fight. You know, I'm quite chilled and relaxed before a fight, but when it gets going, it's like, it's go time. It's go time. Just get me in there. Let's do it.
Well, that's amazing. Once again, mate, thank you very much.
I appreciate it, guys.
I've really enjoyed it, mate. And we're going to get you back as Conor Meanwell and not the Pitbull.
Yeah,
and we'll just chat shit.
Yeah, that's why, if anything, I'm looking forward to that. Because like I said, I do boxing all the time.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it.
That'd be good.
Don't mind talking about it.
And then when you're pro, hopefully you and Isham will be down and talk to you coaching fights. It'd be nice to get as a team.
Definitely. And it'd be nice just to get the depth of Isham's himself.
And how he should, because I think Isham will talk more to us on how he deals with you as a fighter than he does for you.
And his other fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he does everything with everything. So, it's good. So, shout out to Epic Golden Gloves and all the fighters there. Keep doing what you're doing, keep training. And to all the coaches, and thank you to.
No, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure, mate. You don't have to thank us. Where can people follow you, mate, on social media?
On Instagram is Connor, CONNOR, not ER, .thepitbull, one word. That's probably the only major platform that I use. I used to have Twitter, but I don't really use it because it's hard. I do have Facebook, but I tend to use Facebook more personal.
That's what
you know what I mean. So Instagram is the place to follow me because that's where I'll update with all the fights, upcoming fights, all the training, even to come and train with me. So
why not?
So hit me up on that and it'd be good.
Sam, you can follow me on StevePollard18 on Instagram. Adam, your social haul.
I'm across everything: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. I think that's about
the links will be down below.
Yeah, links will all come up.
So if you have enjoyed this video, please give us a subscribe on the YouTube channel. That will really, really help us get, reach out to more guests. And leave us a comment, let us know what you think of the podcast. And once again, we'll wish you all the best, mate, and we'll see you again as a professional.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Honestly.
Sound.